Hello, it's Kate Stillman with Yogahealer.com, and I'm here with Gracy of selfcarewithgracy.com, and we're doing a bit of an update to see how the Body Thrive group is doing. Gracy's a yoga health coach, and now you guys you're getting closer to halfway in, right, to the program?
Yeah, we're rounding the corner to halfway right now.
And how's it going?
It's great. It's so great. We have such a dynamic group of practitioners. And it's so cool to bring together a group of people who already have really strong practices, people who've really dedicated to yoga and to themselves. And then to find the pieces that are like the missing pieces, of like to make their energy really work. It's so powerful to see. And it was my own process too, where I just felt like I was doing so much, right, and still not quite where I wanted to be. And then when I found dina, charya, and these habits, it shifted everything for me. So it's really energizing for me to watch that start to happen in the group.
I'd love to hear an example. Is there something that stands out?
Stands out in the group or for me?
Yeah, for someone in the group right now.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time thinking of like one specific example right now. Let me pause. What someone in the group, I hope they don't mind if I share this, but I feel like he started to really get that his social needs were what were really holding him back, of feeling like, he's doing a lot of good practices, eating healthy, all these things, but then like, because he wanted to go, his friends are hanging out at the bar, and he felt like he had, in order to have the friends, he had to go hang out at the bar. And this process was really teaching him about his FOMO, or his fear of missing out, and how that was really holding him back. So it's like we can be doing a lot of the right health stuff, but because we have these really like unexamined, psychological and emotional needs that maybe aren't really even true, that those can stand in the way. So I think that the Body Thrive program is so cool because it looks at like changing identity and peer support,
right?
Which can actually be the reasons why we're not doing what we should do, or we know we should do.
Yeah, and to me that brings up how, for most of us, we're not, we don't have the mindset of we're always growing and changing, and we should hang out with people that are growing and changing in the way that's supportive to us right now, which may be different than before, right? And it doesn't mean we have to like drop our friends or anything like that. It just means like wow, I need to actually, also, and maybe more so, put myself in and build some social structure, right? Some new relationships around that which I'm wanting to become.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It was cool on the call because it was like every single person who talked, the person after them was like, I'm so glad I followed this person, because they said it, what I wanted to say, and then they added on to it. And it just feels like we get into this like really dynamic conversation where we're all kind of saying the same thing. And it's just like hearing it out loud, another person sharing their experience from this place of honesty. It's what dissolves those little hard parts of us that crystallize against our change. And it's realizing like, yeah, we're in it together, and this is not my problem. It's not your problem. It's our issue that we can look at together and come up with a different way. So it's how I feel evolution is working through us. So it's really beautiful to witness.
I'm glad to hear that that's how it's going, because when I talk so much about group evolution and how group evolution is so much faster than personal evolution, right? Like that. When we get in a group that's evolving on the same trajectory in the same ways that we're wanting to evolve, it's like, oh my gosh, I can relax into the support that's just happening around me. And then it's easier for me to actually also lead, like to step forward when it's time for me to step forward. And it's so different than like going in alone and beating ourselves up for, I wish I, could stay on the wagon, get back on the horse. Like, and it's totally different in a group where it's like, hey, there's a culture here that we're all in this together. We're moving forward together. If you fall back, don't worry, I've got your back. We'll pull you back in, and things can happen in such a more nurturing way.
Yeah, it can be so isolating to feel alone in this, and it's it's such a fun process. It's such a fun way to do this work. And I think people just are amazed by how much ease there is in it, that all these things that they've struggled with for so long, what it is to really let go of the struggle and embrace like an easier way of life, which is, it all points back to that.
Great. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, the next time we talk in a week or so, things should start to get hard again, and challenges should start to come up. So we'll keep pulsing back between like the breakthroughs and the like, oh, there's some struggle, there's some tough points. You know, it's such a neat pulsation, right? Of like, there's congealment, there's progress, there's the feeling of support now, and then something will happen and things will get triggered, and we'll see where before this is over, right? Well,
yes, yeah. and I just want to clarify, it's not that this process, like everyone is really struggling, you know, especially we're doing the morning routine right now, and it's so cold in so many places in the country right now, and people are struggling. But it's like, if we can get this now, you know, when we are in the, you know, really the coldest part of winter, if we can start to get up and do a morning routine and breathe and create our own heat, then it's going to be so much easier to do it. So it's even the problems that are unique, that they create these really great solutions too. That's in it. But yeah, they'll keep coming. They always
awesome. Do. No, that's great. That's great. And also it's like bouncing ideas out. When we hear something from someone else, it's like, oh, I can consider that. I can consider or see a new way of doing things. And I just want to say, too, you know, your group is mostly wellness, people who are already wellness practitioners, wellness providers. And it's, you know, the sense of, like, one of the things that I notice as that is that, like, people get healthier around me. Like, my dad's visiting for me right now, and he's getting healthier just hanging out with me. He's getting, like, a better morning routine, which now involves some stretching and some breathing and some, you know, some movement before expecting his body to do whatever he wants it to do that day. And there's something about that. Like, when we as wellness providers really embody these habits, and we don't give them up no matter like who's visiting or what's going on or what the weather's doing outside, right? When they're that steadfast within us, people will get healthier around us. And that's such a important thing to step into and to realize and to, you know, just take in. Yeah,
it is. It's you stand where you want to stand, and then just let the world kind of come to you. And I think that's what we can teach everybody, is that's how you become a leader. In that way, and the idea that you know, bend and you sway every time something new comes along, that's not really like a very sustainable way of leadership. But I agree. If I've gotten healthier in my habits, it's really created a lot of change for the people around me, and that's the most inspiring part of this process.
Awesome. Well, great to check in. We'll check in again next week or soon after.
Okay. Thanks, Kate.
Go Gracie's Body Thrive group.
Yay!
Go yoga health coaches around the world.